woman in a recent class told me that after exploring the backlift movement, this is a movement that we explore to release and regain control and feeling of our back muscles. It's mostly done laid on our front. After exploring that movement, she told me that her back felt tighter. And actually, this isn't the first time that I've heard clients mention this. And most of the time, this is because of how we're exploring the practice and the movement. So I thought it'd be helpful to share some tips, some suggestions for you. If you also notice that after exploring the backlift, sometimes you end up with a little more tightness. You don't actually feel the release that movement can help us to create for ourselves. So if you haven't seen my previous video about what is pandiculation, I highly recommend checking in with that because the significance here is how we explore the movements, how we're actually pandiculating our back muscles. Now, what can often happen, especially for those of us that are holding tension in our back muscles, this is about the green light reflex, is that when we go into that backlift movement, the first stage of pandiculation, the first part of the movement into backlift is to contract our muscles more than they already are. And for those of you that are green light, so that means you have holding tension in your back muscles. Actually, we can do that very easily. We've gotten really good and skilled at tightening up our back muscles. So rather than just tightening up a little bit, rather than just increasing that contraction a little bit in the muscles of our back, often we go a little bit gung-ho and we really tighten them up a long way, almost like putting your foot fully down on the accelerator in your car. So we tighten them up, we put all our focus into tightening them, and then we put less focus and intention into the next two really key phases of pandiculation. The second step is to, with awareness, slowly and deliberately take your foot off the accelerator. That tension you turned up, you slowly turn it back down. Almost like you're just deflating. A little bit like air just coming out of a balloon. Doesn't need pushing, it's just going to find its way out. It's a deflation. And then the third really essential step in relaxing our back muscles is to take that moment at complete rest. And by complete rest, I'm talking about no conscious effort, where you can indulge in a sighing breath for a moment. Maybe you take a few breaths there. And then we're ready to explore another pandiculation. But what can happen with our backlift movements, for those of us that have really gotten skilled at holding tension in our back muscles, is we can turn up the tension even more and we forget to release and rest. So we can end up holding on to more tension in the back than when we started. So if you notice this is happening for you when you explore the backlift movement, a couple of suggestions. One is to only increase the contraction as much as you need to feel it turning up a little bit. And you might play with percentage. So you might play with, actually, I'm just going to increase it 50% of my full effort. And then my second tip is to really pay attention to the sensation of softening and melting. And even when you feel like you've completely released and there's no more release to come, there's always more to come. But if you feel like you've completely released, take another few breaths and really indulge in a sighing breath. When we sigh, we release a little bit more, even when we didn't think there was more to come. And you might even feel drawn to yawn. And if you feel a yawn brewing, please go ahead and indulge in that. So less effort going into the contraction, more focus and awareness to the feeling of release. We're only going into the contraction so we can come back to the release. And then taking longer than you think is necessary at rest. So go ahead and explore that. Let me know in the comments how that changes the feel of your back through back lift, the feel of it, the suppleness, the space you create at the end of that. And if you haven't met me before, my name is Karen. I'm founder of Somatic Habit, and I'm here to share everything I know with you about what it is to explore somatic movement and to live somatically.